Modern racing games have created some of the most realistic car simulation experiences. With photorealistic graphics, high-tech steering wheels, and now even virtual reality capability, there's a lot of reasons to try the new generation of racing games. There's also tons of crowd-funded arcade racers that are throwbacks to the classic games. There's no shortage of variety in this genre, so let's take a look at these upcoming racing games. Assetto Corsa is one of the most realistic racing sims on Steam, and this June, it's coming to consoles. Every track and every car is built to be as close to real life as possible. The developers use laser scan technology so that every feature of the roads on the track match to real life. With over 80 cars to choose from that all have authentic and unique driving styles, there's a wide selection for players. Race modes include career, special and unique events, and challenges. Assetto Corsa releases June 2016 on PS4 and Xbox One. The global economy has collapsed, leaving combat racing as the only televised sport in this futuristic offering from Bongfish. Caliber 10 Racing is considered a successor to the 2010 arcade title Harm's Way, which finished as a finalist in Doritos Unlock Xbox game design competition. 4 teams of 2 battled to finish first, with weapons such as missiles and machine guns changing how you play every lap. Each team features a driver and a shooter. Drivers race their way towards the finish line in concept cars developed by real-world artists as they avoid each other and enemy fire. Shooters operate remote-controlled turrets featuring missiles, snipers, Gatling guns, and more to take out the competition. Cooperative play promises to be a new experience as both first-person shooting and racing are both taking center stage. Early access gaming was made available on Steam in 2014, allowing players a chance to try the game and provide feedback in the development process. The full release is still to be announced. If it's cars you want, then World of Speed is where you go. This free-to-play racing MMO from Slightly Mad Studio features street-based racing events that allow you to team up with other racers. It's not always just about your time, because your teammates' times and your ability to complete specific challenges during the races will have the impact on whether your team wins or loses. You'll be able to join various motor clubs comprised of other players, and can stake your claim to a particular circuit by earning a clubhouse. Other events include destruction derbies and territory wars on 4 different track styles spanning drift, sprint, circuit, and drag racing. Customization of cars and famous locations such as London add to the arcade feel of the game, but it is geared for a multiplayer-only experience. World of Speed has a playable beta, but the release date of the final version is scheduled sometime in 2016. Another successful Kickstarter project, Refract Studios is aiming to build on their successful Nitronic Rush game with Distance. Players can explore an open-world concept with color and textures that make you think of a Tron movie, working their way through different races with the goal of survival. Your car can twist and jump, almost like it's parkouring its way around. You can even fly and race upside down, giving races a very fast feel while the track bends and twists through the city. It also features multiplayer, online racing, and multiple other game types such as reverse tag, where you try to stay it as long as possible. On top of that, Distance provides users with a level editor to allow the creation and sharing of new tracks from other players. The game is currently in early access on Steam, and the full version will be for PC and PlayStation 4 sometime in 2016. The only VR racing game so far in our lineup is Gran Turismo Sport. Developed by Polyphony Digital and published by Sony, Gran Turismo Sport is the 13th game in the Gran Turismo series, but is a separate standalone entry. GT Sport includes 3 modes: Campaign, Sports Mode, and Arcade Mode, with online and offline play available. There will be 2 championships held simultaneously throughout the year. These will be organized into online live events for the Nations Cup and Manufacturers Cup. There will be a beta for the game during the first and second quarter of 2016, prior to the release later in the year. Valentino Rossi the game is more than just a racing simulation setup. It lets you relive the career of Valentino Rossi, the Italian professional motorcycle racer and multiple MotoGP world champion. You'll get to participate in the official MotoGP World Championship starting from the beginning of Rossi's career until present day. The game will also include 291 riders, 47 tracks, and 15 game modes. Valentino Rossi the game releases June 2016 on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Bugbear Entertainment, creator of Flatout, brings location-based damage to the forefront in Wreckfest, which was originally titled Next Car Game. When you hit a wall or another car, you take damage on your car in the exact spot you were hit, and your car will react accordingly, providing a stark reality check. Players will race on tarmac and dirt tracks, and will have the gamut of races and demolition derbies you could want. Gamers have so far been impressed with the realistic physics while driving, making it important for you to take those turns correctly or suffer the consequences. You'll be able to buy and sell cars, and perform research, which gamers are hoping may provide a way to unlock new parts. Bugbear has stated they hope to provide 24-player multiplayer in the final version, coming to PC. Release date is still to be announced. MXGP2 is the quintessential motocross game with officially licensed bikes, rosters, and tracks, featuring the complete roster of the official championship of MXGP and MX2. There's also a new mode that lets you represent an entire nation in races. You'll also get a chance to create your own personal team with your customized name and logo. Every part of the bike can be customized, including suspension, brakes, and handles. MXGP2 launches in June 2016 on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Power Drive 2000 is reminiscent of every 80s racing and car motif. It has a talking car. It has a synth soundtrack. The game even boasts a retro-futuristic look set in the year 2000. Game mechanics revolve around drifting and boosting at the right times around tight corners. There's 6 unique game modes with local and online multiplayer. There's basic racing, but then there's also a few unique modes. Outrun mode has you dodging traffic as you outrun a police helicopter through the streets of an 80s cyberpunk and neon city. Gauntlet mode has you avoiding obstacles in a procedurally generated environment as you try to escape a giant laser wall moving quickly towards you. Power Drive 2000 is releasing for PC and PS4, but the release date is still to be announced. Formula Fusion makes you immediately think of the classic racing game Wipeout. It's futuristic with anti-gravity vehicles. Tracks are composed of magnetic superconductors that suspend the vehicles in a gravitational field, allowing them to move at high speeds on the track. In between races, you can research new weapon technology, then activate them during the match for both offensive and defensive use against your opponents. Track design is incredibly dynamic with corkscrews, twists, banks, and jumps. Formula Fusion is currently in early access on Steam, with the full version launching on PC, PS4, and Xbox One sometime in the future. Road Redemption got off the ground thanks to a Kickstarter campaign by Dark Seas Games, and over 4,000 people backed it. Fans of the old-school Road Rash games will be pleased to know Road Redemption is considered a successor to the motorcycle combat sport franchise. You start by picking your rider and bike, then work your way through the campaign, filled with races or objectives, such as beating up a certain number of racers before the finish line. There are also bombs, guns, and other ranged weapons to liven things up. Tracks are procedurally generated to give players a new driving experience on every track. The big challenge is that there is no respawning throughout the campaign. Instead, if you can't keep your health high enough and you die, your permanent upgrades carry over to your next playthrough. Road Redemption already featured an early access version on Steam and aims to release on consoles in the future. Drift Stage claims to be a modern take on the arcade racer. The game has a mix of pixel art and 3D models to create an 80s inspired look. Gameplay is focused on fun as the top priority with an easy to pick up handling style. Standard racing and time trial modes are available, but there's also something unique called Infinite Drift. In Infinite Drift, the course is procedurally generated with checkpoints. For customization, there's also a decal system that will allow you to personalize your car with custom images. Drift Stage is currently in development and hopes to launch on Steam in the near future. There's a lot of high-end racing simulations, but also a lot of independent arcade-style crowd-funded racing games coming out. What are your favorite racing games from this list? Let us know in the comments and subscribe to the Skilled channel for more game previews.